Hi, this is Catherine Schneider from the Fitchburg Historical Society, and this morning we have the pleasure of being on site at Agrace here in Fitchburg, and our guest this morning is Liz Kopling from the Marketing and Communications Department here at Agrace. So Liz, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. It's a pleasure. So we'd like to find out, the Fitchburg Historical Society is interested in focusing a little bit on Agrace's presence in the Fitchburg community. So would you fill us in on Agrace's physical locations here in Fitchburg, and then how long Agrace has really been present in Fitchburg, and then what drew Agrace to this particular location?
Yes, absolutely. Well, this is actually Agrace's 45th year as a nonprofit based in Dane County. So we're celebrating a very exciting milestone. We began in the year 1978, just north in Madison. We're formed by a group of volunteers who came together to try and find a better way for people to die with dignity and receive compassionate, quality end-of-life care. So Agrace has been around even longer than the Medicare hospice benefit, believe it or not. But we moved to the Fitchburg area, first broke ground on this facility on East Sherrill Parkway in 1998. And it was completed and opened in the year 2000. So our history in Fitchburg goes back to that time. We opened the Don and Marilyn Anderson Hospice Care Center in 2000 with 18 patient beds. We chose Fitchburg because it's a wonderfully central location. There's so many easy ways to get here, and people can easily come and visit their loved ones who are at Agrace for end-of-life care. And we very quickly after opening our building in 2000 realized that the demand for the services that we provide it far exceeded our wildest imagination. So we very quickly began plans to expand. And in 2006, we opened the other side of our building, the Ellen and Peter Johnson Hospice Care Residence. So between the two sides of the building, altogether we have 50 beds. We have 30 general inpatient care beds. We also have 12 hospice memory care suites, which are a secure but home-like environment for people who are hospice patients with Agrace, but need a little bit more memory care in their end-of-life journey. So our history in Fitchburg goes back a couple of decades, and we're so happy to be here.
And it's such a beautiful location. We're here in the springtime in April when things are just in full bloom, and it's just a beautiful place.
It's absolutely stunning, and we get that feedback so frequently from families and patients and visitors. And it was designed very intentionally. So all of the rooms have some sort of access to nature. And we have this beautiful wooded area along the back of our Madison or Fitchburg campus. And the rooms were designed so that patients' beds, when they're here for end-of-life care, can actually be rolled out onto a patio or to an interior courtyard so that they can listen to the birds chirping, and they can hear the wind rustling through the oaks, and they can even see deer and other wildlife come and go in this beautiful home-like environment. So that sort of peaceful access to nature and a place where it felt very different from a hospital ICU and was very much like what someone could experience at home is really what motivated the community, including many generous people in Fitchburg, to support Agrace and allow us to build this beautiful Fitchburg campus completely with donor donations.
And that's unique, I would guess, to the Agrace organization.
Yeah.
It has been by donors that you've been able to do all of this.
Exactly. We're a nonprofit hospice. Some hospices are for-profit, some are nonprofit, but we really are built by the community for the community. Most people we serve in their homes or whatever place they call home. So it could be a long-term care facility, a relative's home, or the home that they've lived in for generations. But when people do need a different, higher level of care, we have this beautiful facility available here in Fitchburg thanks to those generous community donations. And
how would you describe Agrace's mission?
Yes, our mission has evolved since 1978. At that time, we were exclusively a hospice, but we now offer things in addition to hospice care. We offer different types of support to people prior to their end-of-life illness. And so our mission is really about meeting people where they are and providing personalized care and support for life's changing health needs. So that whether that be someone who's facing the challenges of aging, we have our Age at Home non-medical home care service where we go and provide support in people's residences. We have our adult day center just north of Fitchburg on the Beltline, where people with memory care issues can come and have a safe and fun and engaging place Monday through Friday to spend some time with other people and socialize and give a respite break for their caregivers. We have our Grief Support Center right here in Fitchburg, which is a really unique, beautiful facility. I know we've been on before talking about how wonderful that place is, but some people don't realize it's available to anyone in the community for grief support, regardless of whether their loved one had any hospice or other services from Agrace. So we have very many ways that we support people through aging, serious illness, end of life, and the grieving process. So our mission really encompasses all of those values and services.
You've really broadened throughout the years, haven't you, to adapt to the needs that you have seen that people are asking for. And
tremendously. Yes, with the aging population and the baby boomer generation really needing a lot more care and support, we have been here to support the community and try and meet some of those needs. And when we opened this facility here in Fitchburg in 2000, we were serving about 950. We served about 950 hospice patients that year. And last year in 2022, we served nearly 5,500 individuals across our service area. So we've expanded. We now have 7 locations and we're in 19 counties throughout southern Wisconsin. So we're just so proud to have Fitchburg as our sort of flagship home, and we've kind of expanded outward from here.
What a tremendous amount of growth that you have had during those years, during those 20 plus years that you've been here in Fitchburg, and how many more people you've been able to serve over that time period. Would you name some of the impact Agrace has had on the local Fitchburg community, maybe in terms of employment, outreach, numbers of people served?
Sure. So the Fitchburg community has been such a close partner of ours, from the chamber to the neighborhood to the many, many people who live in Fitchburg that choose to volunteer their time with Agrace, whether that's right here at this Fitchburg location or at one of our thrift stores throughout the Madison area. We have so many friends and neighbors from Fitchburg that choose to support Agrace with their generous gifts of time and talent. And, you know, when there's a snowstorm and it might be tough for people to get out, we know that Randy, who lives in Fitchburg, will be, getting here because he's just down the road. And we have Randy and so many others that are just such wonderful, caring and giving individuals that are our friends and neighbors here in Fitchburg. We also have had wonderful partnerships with the Chamber, who's been very supportive with ribbon cuttings and trying to help get the word out to local residents about our Grief Support Center and our Hospice Memory Care Suites that opened here in 2019. So we're just couldn't be more happy to have such a wonderful place to call home.
Great, great. Fitchburg community, that this is the place that you, as you mentioned, is really the flagship of your all of your locations that you have now in the area. So you talked a little bit about the evolving of Agrace over time. Maybe some of the innovations that you see that might be coming. Well, and challenges that are here. What kind of challenges does Agrace have, and maybe hospices in general? And then if you look into the future, what are some of the evolving trends maybe in hospice care?
Yes, well, things have changed tremendously even in my 13 years with Agrace. And the biggest change is probably that, as a nonprofit with 45 years of history, we're seeing a lot of small private equity-backed hospices sort of enter this area and other areas that we serve. and coming in, with a business model that they're trying to attain. But by holding true to our mission and keeping our stewardship responsibilities sort of at the forefront of everything we do, we really just keep our true north of helping provide care and support to people and making a dignified, compassionate, high-quality end-of-life experience available to anyone who needs us. We have our Care for All fund that ensures that nobody will be turned away for inability to pay, which is very important to us. We're also looking toward the future and how we can be sustainable for generations to come. So our new initiative to become carbon neutral at Agrace by the year 2025 is something we are focusing on. We're doing exciting new things. We're trying to reduce our carbon footprint, not only here in Fitchburg, but throughout our entire service area. And we're looking ahead towards getting some grants for solar panels here at our Fitchburg location, and other exciting ways that our staff can really feel connected to giving back in a sustainability way, in addition to giving back in a nonprofit community support type of way.
Mm-hmm. Right. So lots of things about even environmental issues are something that Agrace is bringing to the fore these days, with your carbon footprint, et cetera. Sounds like the community engagement has been very strong with Agrace also, and that will continue, and the growth in that area with having the community very much involved in what's going on here, both as volunteers, employees, part of the business community, the chamber, etc. Lots going on in terms of your connections with Fitchburg.
Absolutely. We have about 850 employees that work for Agrace. We're one of the larger employers in Dane County. And I have to mention, we were just named the #1 top workplace in the greater Madison area. So we're so proud of that. I really do feel like what sets Agrace apart is our people. And that's what's kept me here for more than a decade. But we really, truly attract the most special, kind, caring, and compassionate people, whether that is nurses or physicians or our reception team or our kitchen staff or our volunteers.
Mm-hmm. And I saw the sign as I came in about your award.
Yes.
One of the top workplaces in the area.
Yes, and in the country. We were named #1 in the greater Dane County area, and we were in the top 100 large workplaces on the national level. So we're so proud, and we're busy celebrating that as we speak.
Liz, do you have a story that you might want to share about Agrace and its impact on the community? Maybe a personal story?
Yeah, I know personally, one of the moments I felt most excited and proud to be here in Fitchburg representing Agrace was the first year of our Race for Agrace, which is a 5K run and 1 mile walk that one of our nurses, Christine Hammer, had the idea to start 6 years ago. And it was so important for us to be able to welcome people to Agrace in Fitchburg, to give them a chance to memorialize loved ones who died either with Agrace or who have died in their lives, in kind of a fun, celebratory way that shows off our beautiful campus in the highlight of summer. And I participated as a runner that first year. And the community, as I was running along the Fitchburg Trail for the 5K route, came out and were cheering us on. They came out with lawn chairs and were, I think, ringing cowbells and clapping. And it was a small event, but it really showed the spirit of the community. And I know that other races like the Burby Derby that take place here or other fundraising events always bring the community, rally the community around the very many special nonprofit causes here in Fitchburg and beyond. And I thought it was just such a moment that gave me chills to be like, wow, these people recognize what we do in our community and are here to support us and show their support in such a fun and engaging way.
Oh, sounds like a fantastic event that touched you personally.
It did, yes, and my family still participates every year. The next race for Agrace is coming up here in Fitchburg again on Sunday, June 4th.
Thank you for letting us know the date. People can put that on their calendars now.
Yes.
And then I guess as maybe a final question, I'm wondering if you could share with people maybe some advice you might offer for those who might be facing or their families life-limiting circumstances.
I know it's a very challenging time for people when their loved one is facing a life-limiting illness and they don't know where to turn and they're exhausted and stressed and feel lost a lot of the time. So I just want people to know that Agrace is here for them regardless of what their needs might be. It never hurts to just pick up the phone and give us a call. We have very compassionate staff who are highly trained at helping people have a conversation about what options they might have for care and support for themselves and their loved ones at the end of life or through any of the challenges that we've talked about today. So I just want people to know that it's safe and they will feel cared for if they reach out to us either online or through the phone or stop in and say hello. We are part of this community and we're so proud to be here, and our mission is to provide care and support for as many people as possible, both here in Fitchburg and beyond. So please don't hesitate to reach out to Agrace and see what options we might be able to provide for help.
Thank you so much, Liz, for informing us about Agrace and its embeddedness in the community, how long you've been here, the services that are provided, and just the impact that you have on this community. And then this warm invitation that you just offered to people to contact you and to know that you are here to help serve them.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so our website for the Fitchburg Historical Society is fitchburghistory.org, and we have many wonderful interviews of people in the community here, businesses and important people, organizations that exist here, and we love to provide those to the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you.